Good afternoon. I'm Dara Bunjon. I'm the food enthusiast here at J Moore Living. I'm a food writer, food stylist, PR maven, and a frustrated baker. Those of you joining us live, drop your comments or your questions into the comment box, and you'll see me turn my head from time to time, and I will check so you can ask me or our guests anything you like. This week's guest is Sara Polon, Supergirl. From stand-up comic to CEO of Supergirl, she and her mother, Supermom, set out on a mission to change the world one bowl of soup at a time. The soup, kosher, small batch, plant-based, Supergirl is proud to offer the first CPG, consumer packaged goods, certified by the Fair Food Program. Let's bring Sara in. Good afternoon, Sara.
Hi, Dara. How are you?
I'm doing great, I guess. It's raining again.
Yeah.
I'm getting a little soggy.
Yeah.
What's on your plate today other than doing the show?
Oh my goodness. You can never, every day is different. Actually, right now we're working on, we're doing a big launch. We're kind of relaunching Supergirl in a way with some new flavors, new formulations, a new look and feel. And I am working night and day on getting that ready, diving into our labels and nutrition and ingredients. So a lot of details, which is hard for someone with my attention span.
Okay, well, you see me sort of reaching over. I'm having, as always, a little bit of a technical issue, but I'll get that straightened out. So we said your mother, we said soup. People know that, you started off as a comic. So there's a lot of story in between being the stand-up comic in New York and being the Supergirl, and people, that's Souper, Supergirl, who now has amazing products in refrigerated cases, soups, in stores like Costco, Growls, Fresh Market, Mom's Organic, Whole Foods, Instacart, Peapod, Kroger. I think there's a story in between those two.
A short one, yeah.
A short one. Okay, so my notes have you graduated with a history major from the University of Pennsylvania. You went to New York, stand-up comic. What's your family, because your product is vegan, were you vegan for a long time, or was that something you got into as you grew up?
Yeah, good question. My mom was always very healthy, always, cooked from scratch. So I was always, paid attention to the food I ate. And when I moved to New York, I wasn't even vegetarian. I was kosher. But being kosher, meat is a fortune. And I had a tiny, tiny, tiny studio apartment. So I couldn't have two sets of dishes or anything like that. So I just became vegetarian. And then in New York, I actually got into comedy and became friends with some vegans and became vegan then, and then became vegetarian. And then when I launched Supergirl, I really got serious and went vegan after I launched, a few years after I launched. And basically, the more I kind of dove into the impact of our food choices on more than ourselves, but everything around us, it just became abundantly clear to me that to live my values and whatnot, I needed to become vegan, which is so much easier now than it was when I was first vegan a long time ago.
Yeah, well, understood. And it's such a growth market. I find, we've had a couple producers on the show recently, Kikoa, which was strictly organic baby food. They're sticking, those are their principles, that it be organic and that it's plant or fruit based with seasonings. And Burlap and Barrel, who are single origin spice purveyors. They were also like you, they were on Shark Tank. They didn't get the funding, but they got so much publicity out of it. You were on Shark Tank. There's a lot of story there. Let's tell people about your Shark Tank experience with you and your mother.
Oh, sure. No, we didn't get a deal. We were skeptical that we would get one. But the publicity, the benefit of being on that show, we still reap the benefits now, more than 5 years later. It kind of adds, people still find the story exciting. And, Shark Tank is tough. You have to know your numbers. You have to know,
right.
You have to be prepared. My mom was an absolute champ. She was unbelievable, very brave. She kept saying, "This is not what I signed up for." She's hilarious. And we had a great, I don't know if we had a great time. It was tough, but I'm so grateful for that experience. And I'm still in touch with some of the people I was on the show with. And in fact, one of the sharks, the guest shark, is a mentor of mine still to this day.
Right. And I think he called back after
Matt
the
Higgins.
fact.
Yes, Matt Higgins did. And he's actually deeply involved with the company now, financially, not deeply, I don't want to say too much, but he's involved with us, and it's been a wonderful relationship. And that's all from that, episode in 2018.
Well, both of them, Burlap and Barrel, said it was a great benefit to be there. Let's talk about the product, because soup initially in 2008, it was home delivery, and it's gone through a lot of iterations. Farmers markets, catering, retail, wholesale. This was not an easy journey. But believing in yourself and the rights of others. Now, I think all I need to do is say the omnivore dilemma to you, and you can address how that impacted you.
Yeah, that was that book by Michael Pollan was really key to kind of waking me up to the impact of our food choices. Again, as I mentioned, on more than ourselves. I feel that as kind of a people, we're always given all these different messages about what we should eat, when we should eat, how we should eat. And we're not really having enough of a conversation about, okay, well, that food choice, how does it impact, the farm laborer and the environment,
Right.
et cetera. And so I really wanted to get involved. That was our impetus for launching. And as we've grown over the years, it was really during COVID that we became what we are now, and really pivoted and closed our storefronts and focused on, grocery stores and Costco. And really, I feel that the bigger we grow, the more we can grow our values. That fair food certification that you mentioned, that stands for farm worker justice, really giving the laborers who, pick the very food that we put on our plates. In my opinion, those should be some of the most valued members of our society, like teachers. And we're so disconnected from the source of our food, we don't really pay attention. And unfortunately, the reality on the ground is not awesome. And programs like the Fair Food Group, they provide a path to a solution to these massive problems. And the bigger we grow, the more of the impact we can have on, our food system, and we can enable more and more consumers to make better choices. And you don't have to sacrifice flavor and convenience and health for making, better food choices for yourself and for all.
I thank you for I just didn't have us up on the screen, and I want to be able to see if there were any comments or any questions I should address. So forgive me for that. The people do not comprehend the problems that we have here in the United States with the farm workers. Now, Burlap and Barrel, single origin, this way they're making their mark by making sure the people that are growing in Sri Lanka and these other areas are getting fair pay. This is similar, but we don't realize the abuse of these farm workers. And just down in Georgia, wasn't there something that came out of there recently?
Yeah, in December 2021, there was a slavery bust in the state of Georgia. And honestly, that's just the tip of the iceberg. People have, and I think people are very surprised when I say that, because so many people are focused rightfully on organic and kind of how the soil is, and people aren't focused enough on the treatment of the actual laborers and the abuse, and anything from stolen wages to sexual assault and even worse. It's pretty rampant, and there's very little protection for these workers, and it's really it's pretty horrifying.
Yeah, and with the organization, the Fair Food Program, it isn't just getting certified for your product as much as we have retailers that have committed to there.
Mm-hmm.
And those are some of the people that are carrying your foods.
Correct.
The soups, everyone, are in the refrigerated cases. And what is really nice, if you go to the website, the Soupergirl, SOUPER, girl.com, you can look at the ingredient list and you recognize everything that's on the list. Maybe there's a citric acid here or there, but there's no words that you can't even pronounce. It is all natural. And I think you say that you're changing the world one bowl of soup at a time. Your mother used to deliver soups to you while you were in New York, didn't she?
She sure did. Yeah.
And you could have gone to any food route that you chose, but soup became it. Why soup?
Well, I think, like you said, my mom would come up with like a cooler full of freezer bags with individually packaged soup, and I honestly don't know what other people eat because I've been eating it for so long. But it's like a hug from your mom. I mean, soup is it's memory. It's really a special food. People associate soup with comfort and love, and a well-made bowl of soup can be so healthy and delicious. You have, people are nostalgic for grilled cheese and tomato soup. That's great, but we're testing right now like a New Orleans style bean soup, and it's got like 30 grams of protein, all plant-based, no saturated fat, really low in calories. I mean, that's really good for you. And also it's got a lot of flair and spice. It's fun. And so, soup can just, when I say it can change the world, we're talking about the supply chain, and we're talking about cooking techniques. And we're also talking about, I do believe that a lot of our health problems can be really fixed if we start paying attention to how we're fueling ourselves, what we're putting in our bodies.
Well, I think that's been proven, and I'm an example of everything you should need. But you were talking about, is that your Bourbon Street rice and beans? Is that what you were talking?
We're reformulating it. We have a Creole rice and bean, and we're tinkering with the recipe to make it even healthier and more delicious. And yeah.
Yeah, I noticed on your website, so people, you can go into the stores like Costco, Growls, Fresh Market, but if you want to see some more innovative flavors, they have spicy split pea and squash, Bourbon Street rice and beans, gorgeous green minestrone, creamy zucchini, home-style lentil and greens, and Tuscan white bean. So going to the website, you're going to get to see products before they hit the shelves, the retail shelves. It's sort of your test, am I correct, as to seeing popularity and what's growing. I keep losing my earpiece. I always have something here. So initially home delivery. Now we have all these retail stores. You're also doing bowls. Tell us a little bit more about the bowls.
That's just for our delivery customers. It's something that, back when we launched, my mom and I launched, we were trying to figure out a way to make the business, add to people's carts and make people purchase a little more, especially during the summer. And so we started doing these bean bowls and grain bowls. And so we just still do them to this day. I just had one for lunch, the white bean za'atar. They're just fun little additions. So you can have, for lunch, a little bowl and then a little soup, or you can have one on one day and one on the other. I mean, people do use that delivery program as a way to literally feed them for the whole week. So they've got lunches covered or dinners covered because there's a nice variety. And we also have, we do have cookies and desserts for a little treat made by our partners at Sticky Fingers, which is an amazing vegan kosher bakery in Tacoma Park at our old location. And then we also have croutons and just little fun treats like spice nuts and things like that. So you can really, they make great gifts, so you can send someone who has moved into a new home or a new mom or someone who's not feeling well, or just feed yourself, through the entire week.
I think I read somewhere somebody commented and said, I can look at the soup in the container and I can see the ingredients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's not a puree. You're getting texture along with
some of them are pureed. Some of them, it depends. So some people are hardcore puree people, and especially if you've had dental surgery or something like that. And but some people, I'm more of a chunky gal, so I like the lentil soups. But I like them all. Sometimes I even combine them. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know that somebody had asked you. It's stressful. Any business is stressful, and I'm sure coming outside the other side of COVID was not easy.
No.
Though someone like other businesses where people could purchase online did get a boost. Did you find that the same?
Yeah, I mean, initially when everyone was at home, and I think that a lot of people assumed that those habits were here to stay, and they're not. I think a lot of the businesses that sprouted up just accommodating home delivery are struggling a little bit. Consumers, habits change by the day. So yeah, there was that initial boost, but keep in mind it was very scary during COVID because we were never at home. I never had a Zoom happy hour or anything. I was living at our facility 24/7 and trying to take care of the team and get a doctor in to test us every week and getting, contraband N95 masks. And it was a very scary time, but it was also, there's a lot of camaraderie. But it was very challenging. But yes, we did. Our delivery business definitely grew quite a bit, but now it's people like shopping at the supermarket. People like using Instacart. People are cooking themselves again, and people are trying to save money. And a lot of the delivery services are quite expensive. So, we're trying to remain relevant to everyone and kind of meet people wherever they shop.
Right. I think what's unique is not only with the Fair Food Group is how you treat your employees, the benefits you give them and look out for them. Am I correct? Because I'm not always, that you also compost?
Oh yeah. Yeah. So all of our employees have, full health insurance options for full health insurance. Yes, we compost, we use ugly produce. We have solar panels on some of the roof. We really try hard to really lower that carbon footprint as much as possible.
Right, and your plastic is certified neutral?
We are certified plastic neutral. We are certified woman-owned, certified kosher.
And is that Star K?
We're under the Star K.
Okay. Because I know some of the people who watch the show keep kosher. And this is the time of year that it's really that you bring out your gazpachos. There's watermelon gazpacho, beet gazpacho, spicy gazpacho, and plain gazpacho. Is there 4?
Yes.
Well, I'm proud that I remembered all 4.
Yeah, that's impressive. Yes.
So they can find that Whole Foods, in this area. And I have people who, right. I have people who listen to the show, not just from the Baltimore DMV. So there's a location slot on your website so people can put in their zip code and find out what retailers in their area are carrying Soupergirl products. And there's so much. We probably could talk about workers' rights for hours. I feel people should follow you. If they want, Instagram is the Supergirl DC, Facebook is Supergirl. Um, I'm just looking over my notes here. You said somewhere that soup is waiting for innovation. Do you feel you're the answer to that?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I just think that's been an area of the supermarket that hasn't seen any creativity. It's just the same old for a very long time. And so we're kind of marching in with a new approach, simple ingredients, not drowning in salt, a little bit of fun with the flavor, health, values. And I think it's an exciting time.
It is. And I'm seeing so much change by, again, the retailers or the new purveyors, small businesses that are putting products out on the market. And the younger market knows that, there's a bigger battle to fight than when I grew up along with your mother.
Yep.
In those days. There's so much, and I'm sitting here looking over the notes. Okay. So let me come to my final questions. And the last question is going to be, what didn't I ask you that I should, so we can cover anything that I missed. If you wake up tomorrow with a new talent, what would it be?
Oh, gosh, it would be fluent Spanish speaking. It's just in this industry and in the agricultural world, that's just a skill. And I took French in high school and I regret it.
You're not the first person I heard say that. You took French. I thought it would be so romantic. If you could go back and tell your 18-year-old self or give yourself a piece of advice, what would it be?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, live in the moment. I don't know. Yeah, just live in the moment. The youth is wasted on the youth. So, I would say take this all in, because the next thing you know, you're going to be in your 40s and be like, what?
Where did the time go?
Yeah.
And I want to tell people that you can sign up for the email blast from the Supergirl online.
Mm-hmm.
And not only will you get information about the soups and what's going on there, I think a bit of your stand-up comic side comes out in that too. Okay.
Yeah.
So soup with a smile.
Yeah, I love that.
I know that you cook. Your mother was really the backbone to the flavors and the soups and the testing. Is there an ultimate culinary fail that you're willing to share?
Oh, so many in the beginning. I mean, yeah. When it was just the two of us in the kitchen, oh my God. I mean, we had soups that were total bombs. My mom and I are very, very, very healthy. We don't cook with any salt, and we sometimes made a soup and we would look at each other and be like, this is a great soup for us, but nobody wants to eat this. This is too healthy. This is just too healthy. We have to, you got to find that balance between, really healthy. You're feeding people. You want it to be nurturing and healthy, but like flavorful. And we just, finding that balance was challenging.
I can imagine so. There is a need for salt.
Sure, yeah. Salt brings out flavor. Well, the salt is meant to bring out the flavors of whatever you're eating. Once you taste salt, you've over-salted. It's not meant to have a flavor of its own. It's meant to help
enhance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have questions with people. I like to put salt on watermelon and cantaloupe. It brings out the sweetness.
Sure.
And some people say, I don't, how can you put salt on it? It makes it sweeter. I said, try it. They go, no, I don't. I go, okay, all right. What's the best bite, or should I say soup, that you've had all week?
I cannot get enough of our Mediterranean red lentil. That's our top selling soup. That's our number one seller. And the reason is it's so delicious. It's creamy, obviously with no cream. The red lentils release all this creaminess. It has a ton of protein and fiber. It's so flavorful. I love that soup. Yeah.
And I noticed that at some point you were people want to do a soup cleanse.
Yeah, years ago we did that.
Okay. So let me open up the floor. What didn't I ask you that I probably should? What should people know about you and your products?
So I think that they should know, well, when, starting in July and August in the summer, you're going to see a lot of new and exciting things. We're going to be in new stores. We're going to make the official announcement on social media and on our email. So I encourage people to sign up. But a lot of stores, we're going to be available in a lot more places with just everything new. And I'm really excited about it. So this summer, keep your eyes open in the refrigerated section. Thank you for pointing that out. We're not shelf stable. We're not canned or jarred. We are in the refrigerator. So watch that space.
And just to let people know, other than the gazpacho, the other soups are freezable. So you can
absolutely
get it in, eat half the container, which is a portion size, freeze the other. Or if you see you're coming close to the expiration date, freeze it.
Yep, absolutely.
Right. Okay. I mean, there's so much in depth, and I just don't want to miss things. So in general, I want to direct people to the website, and that is the Soupergirl.com, and sign up for the newsletter. Look at your local Whole Foods, Costco, look in the refrigerated section and find it, taste it. You don't have to be vegan to eat it.
Oh, not at all. No,
not at all.
It's just great soup.
Yep. I want to thank you so much, Sara, for being on the show. And I truly appreciate it after listening to everything that you're doing today to squeeze us in. Thank you so much. All the best, continued success. And everybody, let's see what happens this summer with the Soupergirl.
Thank you so much for having me, Dara. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. I have a couple of things to tell people at the moment. And next week's guest is Charlie Jurdy, a restaurateur for all seasons, from his Pappy's Tacos, Wicked Sister, Alexander's Tavern, and Huck's. He is embracing casual dining. Many in the Baltimore region will remember him from the innovations for its time, being very innovative with Spike and Charlie, which was down by the Meyerhof. He was in his 20s, now in his 50s. There are stories to be told. So do join us next Thursday when we have Charlie Jurdy on. If you need to reach me, you can reach me at food@jmoreliving.com or Instagram at Dara Cooks, and on Facebook, The Food Enthusiast. All shows are immediately archived in video form on JMOR's Facebook page and jmoreliving.com. We truly appreciate it when you share our show with friends and family. May your plates always, always remain full. Thank you, and I look forward to seeing you next Thursday.